Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Graham. This is the Jedi Knights Watch, and in front of us here we have Darth Vader from the Obi Wan series, the DX28. This is the deluxe version, and it's also, yes, the DX28. It comes with the extra base and the clean Darth Vader parts as well. I got mine from my local comic book store, House of Heroes in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I did have this pre-ordered through Sideshow, but unfortunately, my patience wore out after just under 2 years of waiting for this figure. So I decided to cancel that, pick this up in person, and I couldn't be happier. The art box looks amazing. We have that great image of Vader himself with the broken, smashed helmet. And then on the bottom, we do have that cigar band wrap, which just gives these boxes a little bit more depth and some extra life, some good color as well. I cannot wait to open this. I have been waiting for this Darth Vader for a long, long time. This has been something that I thought the series was okay. Actually, I thought the series was pretty good with one episode that I really didn't like. But I thought the battle between Obi Wan and Vader was iconic. And it was so cool seeing that helmet get sliced open and seeing Anakin in there, and then just, you know, Anakin is gone, I am what remains. This is going to be a slip cover, and when we remove that, we do have some more artwork inside. We got a nice image of Vader, and then Obi-Wan in the background there with the Inquisitors there on the bottom as well. Once we get it onto the table, you can see Darth Vader, DX28, and again, all of that imagery on the front there as well. And when we slide it out, I love these side sliding cases here, these art boxes. They're so cool, so premium. I love the foam inserts. We're going to see a lot of that today. But yeah, then we have some more artwork here. We have the battle, and then of course Anakin is gone. I am what remains. And then inside, great presentation. I love, again, when Hot Toys does these DX figures because the presentation and the unboxing experience is just so much better. So here we have our first look at our Darth Vader figure. This is the first time I'm seeing it, and I am blown away. We got the cool damaged chest piece. We got the sliced up helmet. And then we do have the clean parts there on the left as well with the gloved hands. And we're going to talk about those gloved hands. I have a major problem with those, but we'll get to that. So let's start with the bottom tray, which is below what we just saw there. And we have two bases, which I love. I think with DX, we always need to get both bases with the higher end figure, and this is going to be the rock base, which is what I'm going to use my figure for. It is from the Iron Man 85 Battle Damage. It's the exact same base, but the coloring is going to be a little bit darker, I believe. And then we do have some dry brushing going on there. It looks really nice. I like it. It looks like the planet that they were doing battle on, so I don't have any problems with that. I'm kind of glad there's no nameplate either. I just think it looks more realistic, but this is an amazing base. You're going to be able to connect this via USB-C, so I'm super excited for that. I'm actually going to use this for my Tarkin Vader and be able to, you know, actually use both at the same time. I think is really cool. So this could work for a bunch of different figures. The Emperor is another one stands out. You know, maybe some Stormtroopers. The only bummer is we only get one translucent pole and one crotch grabber. So I am going to have to borrow from my Thanos figure to be able to do that, but you know, I don't know why they cheap out on that. Why couldn't you just give us two? Probably because they're only selling one figure, but it'd be nice to use with other figures. So we got all the normal accessories that come with our Vader. We have the swooshing lightsaber blade. We got the normal lightsaber blades. We have Reva's lightsaber as well. But first, let's get into this new USB saber because this is my first USB lightsaber experience. So we have the power pack on the left and then the wired saber on the right. I'm not going to be using this because I do have a custom CCFL saber, but you can see all the plugins here we're going to use on the back of Vader, and they do not supply a USB-C cable, so I do have that, luckily, so we don't have to worry about that. But then we do have another hilt, so if you don't want to use the USB, you don't have to worry about that wire hanging around. So it is nice that they give you the option, and the saber blades do plug into that as well. And then over here we have Reva's hilts, which the broken hilts that Vader uses when he's doing battle. So just a nice add-on. These unfortunately are not going to be USB powered, so you're not going to be able to power up the blades, but nonetheless they do look good. The paint application is nice and they're very detailed. Moving on to the cape that comes with this figure. The nice thing about this is it's reversible. So when we look at it, it's kind of got this battle damage slice, which we saw in the series, you know, this cut piece here. I don't think I needed it because you're really not going to see it, but it is just a cool add-on. And if you don't want to see it, you can reverse the cape, and there is a clean side too. So it's just really cool that Hot Toys thought about that, because with this Deluxe, you can do either or. Now, I don't think I'm going to be using this one. I'm going to use this, I think it's a Jackson cape. It's more of like a velvet, but it's wired. So I'm going for the CCFL Saber as well as the wired cape, just to have a different effect to it. And then we go into the hands, and we get the gloved hands here for the Darth Vader with different gesturing hands. I like how these gloves look. I like them a lot better than the Empire Strikes Back gloves. I like the ripple effect here in the gloves, and you can kind of see like a sculpted stitching pattern in them as well. What I hate about these gloves is the fact that they are so hard to get on the figure, because the glove is so long. It's really hard to find the peg into that hole, and for the most part, the gloves just sit on the figure and they're loose. So I don't know if a split glove would have been nice, to be able to just get it on easier. You'd have that line though, that cut, but I don't know, just it's not very practical to get these gloves on, so it is a pain. Here we do have the chest piece, the clean version. So again, if you want to switch this out and do more of like a Rogue One type of Darth Vader, you can do that. And then we also have the clean helmeted version as well. And I really actually like that they put these protective pieces on the helmets, because so many times, especially with quarter scale figures with these tusks, they arrive broken, and just those little nub pieces are broken off. So thank you, Hot Toys, for taking that extra precaution to make sure these arrive safe and undamaged. The helmet looks great. It's an amazing looking helmet. Again, I like it so much better than the Empire Strikes Back version. Can't wait to get Return of the Jedi as well. But now finally we're getting the figure out, and we're gonna take the plastic off and get him onto the turntable and talk about our thoughts. And here we have our first look at our Darth Vader DX28 on the turntable. He looks glorious. I'm super excited to finally have this in the collection. And some people say you don't necessarily need this Vader if you have a Vader, but this one is just so unique and so different that I kind of disagree. Like, I think you do need this Vader, and I definitely want to have a clean Vader, which is my Tarkin Vader, and then this battle damaged Vader, just fully different than what we're used to seeing with Darth Vader. You could compare like Tarkin with Empire Strikes Back, or Rogue One with Empire Strikes Back, and you're kind of like, yeah, the differences are minimal, but here you really do have a big difference in figures, and such a drastic change. And just seeing the head sculpt is just something we always want to see growing up. Like, we want to see that Vader, and we want to see Anakin in there, and all the scars and everything. So speaking of that, let's get him in front of the camera. Let's get a closer look at some of the details going on in this figure. The head sculpt is obviously going to be the money maker with this figure. It looks phenomenal, but not only the paint applications on the skin texture with the redness and the scars and the eyes look super evil, but even in the helmet itself, and we'll take a look at that later. But if you want to change out the pieces, you just get your fingernail under there, kind of pry it off, and then it just kind of pops back on. So it is going to be like friction fitting with that. But man, even the battle damage on the chest plate looks great. You got slices and just damage and dirt. Taking a look here, you got the belt looks great as well. You have these two boxes that will light up too in the back, and we'll take a look at that. Unfortunately, it is still pleather. Be cool. I know they're doing some like windbreaker material lately with some of this stuff. So over time, will this kind of disintegrate? Possibly. I've had Vaders before and haven't had any problems, but I have seen other people that do. If you've seen one Vader, some of this stuff is going to be a lot of the same. So like the boots are going to be kind of the same. We have the Velcro shields on the front, and then the pleather boots themselves. They are nice and flexible, so you can definitely get some good posability on those. And then going back up and just kind of focusing on the head sculpt just a little bit more, like even just like the small minor details, but the paint applications, the change in color looks great. The dome does come off. It's again friction fitting, so it just pegs right in there. And then you're able to, move the single eye in the back here. And you really don't need the tool that comes with. It's fairly easy to just put your finger back there and move it, and it just makes this figure look creepy and that much more realistic to be able to move the eyes into any which direction. I just think when Hot Toys does this, and I like it that they're doing it more and more, it really just brings these figures to life. And I can't get over seeing the detailed head sculpt in here. It looks great, but you can see the back is going to be exposed. There's not as much details like Empire Strikes Back helmet like on the top here, which is fine because this one's not really made to be removed unless you're just kind of, you know, readjusting the eye. Here we have our power pack on the back, and we have our cords plugged in. They are pretty tight, and they kind of want to like bend and kind of fall out. So I think I have it in right. You know, there's one extra slot there for the lightsaber if you want to do that, but I'm not going to do that again. I'm using that CCFL, which I'll show you in a few minutes here. But outside of that, you know, the figure looks great, lots of pleather, but with this, he's got a lot of garments too, so you can hide a lot of that stuff if you are worried about deterioration over time, and maybe just not have him in dynamic poses. Obviously, keep climate control in your room as well, and that will help a lot too. Now, going to this stock cape, I do have a little bit of an issue with the stock cape. You could drape it in front, you can drape it behind. It's really nice that way, but the collar seems like it sticks up a little bit too much for my liking, so I'm not sure about that. But I'm not going to be using it anyway. But then looking at the different variants of color on the helmet, it just looks so cool. And then you see the damage all in there, and you know, on the side of the dome as well. It just, I can't get over how cool this looks. Everybody loves battle damage figures, so can't get enough of this one either. Once we plug in the lights, you can see our figure is lit up. This is a big improvement from previous Vaders because you really couldn't do this unless you put batteries in. Now you can hardwire this and have this on all the time. Going back to that base that I said I wasn't going to use, I was going to use it for my Tarkin Vader. Well, here is my Tarkin Vader, and I've put him on this base. So again, it works magnificently for other figures, you know, including the Emperor or Stormtrooper. But this is how I'm going to use that secondary base, and this is why I wanted to get the Deluxe, because I wanted this extra base. I don't need the clean parts necessarily because I already have a clean Vader, but I want to have, you know, I want to be able to just utilize this base. So it was a really big sell for me. It's really large, so, you know, Vader's a bigger figure, but he really fits, you know, pretty nice on this thing, and it lights up really nice as well. Now let's take a look at our battle damage Darth Vader with CCFL saber and wired cape. This thing is customized. It is maxed to the 9 here. It looks great. Going over some things that I really like about the figure. Obviously, it's going to be the head sculpt. It's going to be the detail in there, the chest piece, the battle damage stuff. I love it so much. It's a different take on Vader. I also love that this comes with the clean version. So, you know, you can change this up if you want. If you want to, like, go clean and then, you know, go battle damage, you can make that decision. I love that they gave us both bases in the Deluxe DX. It's really great to be able to use that base with another figure. A couple things that I didn't like. The one would be the stock cape with the collar. It just kind of rides up under the helmet a little bit too much for my liking. The second thing is with all Vaders is just the gloved hands are so deep, it's really hard to peg them in, and I don't want to put too much pressure on the pleather and then, you know, have it tear. Other than that, you know, the wiring on the back, the power pack is a little bit bigger than I'd like it to be, and the wiring is a little tight, but it should be fine. You know, I'm not going to be moving this figure a whole ton. So overall, I am super happy with this. This is the pose that I'm going with. This is how he's going to go into the collection, and I am super excited. Love Darth Vader. Love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think about this Vader. Is it the best, or do you like something else better? I'd like to hear from you down below. Thank you so much for watching my video and subscribing and just the support. Until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.